The incredible affordable Samsung Galaxy A22 5G is official with great screen and a big battery. Hey, what's up guys, we are back again with latest news. And guys, can you believe it was only a little over 2 years ago that Samsung has released a special edition of the Galaxy S10 as the world's first 5G phone. Now we have reached to a point where we have the 5G enabled device which are coming with a price tag lower than $400. In 2 years, we have achieved such kind of processor which are coming with the 5G supported devices. Anyhow, the Galaxy A22 5G is going to be one of the cheapest 5G phones which are going to be available, particularly from Samsung, because the last cheapest phone they have released 2 months earlier is the Galaxy A32 5G, which was coming around 280 euros of a price tag, and now we have the price tag of 230 euros for the base model 4 gig 64 gigs of internal storage of the Galaxy A22 5G. So basically there are two different models that has been released by Samsung. One is supported by 5G, whereas the other is coming with a 4G LTE support inside. Despite what the name suggests, the mid-range category A22 5G actually comes with a 6.6-inch in diagonals, and there is not going to be a high-quality AMOLED display. Nevertheless, they are going to be coming with a resolution of 1080p by 2400, and also it support by 90 Hz of refresh rate technology for a fluid streaming and gaming. So a good screen needs a good battery to keep the lights on between the charge for a satisfactory amount of time, and at least on paper the Galaxy A22 5G checks the boxes with a 5000 milliamp of a cell capacity. The imaging department is where the bad boys make some first noticeable compromise compared to the Galaxy A32 5G, ditching the 5 megapixel macro shooter entirely and downgrading the ultra wide angles from 8 megapixel to 5 megapixel while retaining the 48 megapixel primary snapper and 2 megapixel depth sensor for what ultimately looks like a more than respectable triple rear facing shooter. On the front we have a V-shaped notch houses a presumably unremarkable 8 megapixel selfie cam, while the fingerprint reader sits on the side of a somewhat chunky 9mm device, tipping the scale of 203 grams. The unspecified octa-core processor 2.2 GHz clock speed is most likely a MediaTek Dimensity 7 phone memory and storage option to go from 4 gigs, 64 gigs respectively to all the way up to 8 gigs and 128 gigs of model. Interestingly, the 4G LTE only Samsung Galaxy A22 and the 5G capable variants don't seem to have as much common as you might expect. The former is significantly thinner and lighter, 6.4-inch with a 90 Hz of Infinity U display, sporting inferior HD Plus resolution, as well as a different octa-core chipset clocked at 2 GHz and maximum of 6 gigs of RAM and paired with 128 gigs of local digital housing room. Perhaps the most curious thing about the non Perhaps the most curious thing about the non-5G A22 is that it upgraded its sibling ultra-wide angle lens from 5 megapixel to 8 megapixel while also adding a fourth camera to its back and that is for 2 megapixel macro shooter. And the 5000 milliamp battery is unchanged, despite smaller and lower resolution, thus undoubtedly resulting in a superior. Lastly, a ridiculous low price for the Galaxy A22 5G for the US market. So guys, overall I think that if Samsung does manage to keep the price point below $250, the $300 OnePlus Nord N10 5G and $400 Motorola One 5G Ace are in even trouble. Anyhow, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What are your opinion? Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Peace.